you have learned where Guanatos came from, our mission, our vision, and the values that guide us. Now we need to answer an important question. What does the Guanatos name represent? A brand is much more than a logo, a name, or the colors on a restaurant. A brand is the expectation people develop based on their experiences with us. When a guest sees the Guanatos name, they should have an idea of the food, service, environment, and experience they can expect. That expectation begins with authentic flavor. Guanatos was created around the flavors and culinary traditions that inspired us from Guadalajara, Mexico. Our birria, red tacos, recipes, ingredients, and preparation methods are an important part of our identity. But authentic flavor alone is not enough. The Guanatos brand also represents quality. We care about the ingredients we use, how our food is prepared, and what ultimately reaches the guest. Serving something that does not meet our standards doesn't only affect one plate. It affects the guest's perception of Guanatos. That is why quality must be supported by consistency. A guest may not know who is cooking that day. They may not know who the manager is, and they may not know whether the restaurant is corporate-owned or operated by a franchisee. They shouldn't have to. When they see the Guanatos name, they should be able to trust that the experience will meet Guanatos standards. The same recipes, the correct portions, the proper preparation, the expected presentation, and the same commitment to quality. Our brand also represents hospitality. Great food can bring someone through the door. How we treat them helps determine whether they come back. Guests should be welcomed, treated with respect, served efficiently, and feel that their business is appreciated. When a problem occurs, how we respond becomes part of their experience as well. The Guanatos brand also represents cleanliness and professionalism. A clean dining room, a clean kitchen, proper uniforms, organized work areas, professional communication, and employees who take pride in the restaurant they represent. These details communicate something to our guests before we ever say a word. They tell them whether we care. And together, all of these things create something extremely valuable: trust. Trust that their food will taste the way they remember it. Trust that the restaurant will be clean. Trust that they will be treated well. Trust that Guanatos will deliver the experience associated with its name. That trust takes time to build, but it can be damaged very quickly. This is why protecting the Guanatos brand is not only the responsibility of corporate leadership or management. Every person who prepares our food, serves a guest, cleans a restaurant, manages a shift, operates a location, represents us online, or makes a decision using the Guanatos name affects our brand. One guest may interact with only one employee at one restaurant, but to that guest, that interaction is Guanatos. One poorly prepared meal can become their impression of Guanatos. One dirty restaurant can become their impression of Guanatos. One negative interaction can become their impression of Guanatos. And the opposite is also true. One great meal, one welcoming interaction, one clean and well-operated restaurant, one problem handled correctly. Those experiences strengthen the Guanatos name. As we continue to grow, maintaining that trust becomes even more important. More restaurants mean more people representing Guanatos, and more people representing Guanatos means we must be increasingly disciplined about the standards that define our brand. Authentic flavor, quality, consistency, hospitality, cleanliness, professionalism, trust. These are not separate ideas. Together, they represent the experience we want people to associate with Guanatos tacos. Every day, through our actions, we either strengthen that reputation or weaken it. In the next lesson, we'll focus specifically on the person at the center of that experience, our guest. And we'll define the Guanatos guest promise. What every guest should be able to expect from us every time they visit.